This is one of the craziest situations I've probably seen on the internet. So y'all remember those 10 Louisiana inmates who escaped from prison and they set the world on fire because everybody is talking about it?
Right.
Meantime, in New Orleans, police say they've captured 3 more of the 10 men on Monday after that brazen jailbreak 11 days ago. Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald were arrested 400 miles away in Texas after a high-speed chase. Tate is seen on this surveillance video walking in an alley shortly after the jailbreak. 26 on this surveillance video
They just walking around with jail clothes and jail shoes on. Like I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it.
Alley shortly after the jailbreak. 26-year-old Lenton Van Buren was picked up in Baton Rouge. 5 people have been arrested for helping him.
As much as we have to focus on getting the remaining fugitives back in custody, we also have to be focused on who allowed or helped them to get out.
Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams says this escape could have been prevented after a few other inmates staged an unsuccessful jailbreak 2 weeks prior.
If the sheriff had rang the alarm about the vulnerabilities that existed during that attempted escape, then maybe resources could have been brought to bear from the state.
Security failures that are not just happening at this prison.
These are the 10 inmates that escaped from the very beginning. I feel like 99.9% of people had their money on Derrick Groves being the last one caught. People just look at Derrick Groves and they just see somebody who mean business and they felt like he would be the last one caught.
Yeah, he look, I ain't gonna lie, if we do a quick scan real quick, he looked like one of the smarter few. You know what I'm saying? Leo Tate right here, he looked like he can't even recite his ABCs. Jermaine Donald, he don't know what 2 + 2 is. Antony Macy? That nigga look like he's still high. Everybody on this list look pretty slow except Derrick Groves, and I'll give Kendall Miles a little bit of credit too. Everybody else look like they don't know they ass from the back of their hand, man.
Derrick Groves has not gotten caught. I, on the other hand, love a good Cinderella story. I love a good comeback. I love an underdog story. So when I looked at the inmates that escaped, my parlay was on Antoine Massey.
Ooh.
I know people see the face tattoos and automatically think nincompoop, airhead, Igaboo, gonna get caught the first. I'm a huge fan of March Madness, so I'm old enough to remember rooting for Butler in 2011. They didn't win at all, man. But seeing Butler, the Cinderella story, almost do it, really had me shedding tears, bro. So I was shedding tears hoping that Antoine Massey would win. And I'll be real, he was off to a pretty good start because Antoine Massey and Derrick Groves are the last 2 left.
Oh, they're the last 2 left?
So the Cinderella story essentially is now in the finals. And Derrick Groves is the only one he has to outlast. But it looks like my parlay won't be hitting, bro. Because Antoine Massey just made the dumbest mistake I feel like anybody who's on the run can make. He just dropped a 8 to 9 minute video, I guess, pleading his case for why he's quote unquote innocent while giving up his location.
What?
I'm one of the ones that was let out of GC.
Off the bat, you could tell he's one of those pseudoscience jailhouse lawyers dudes who read a couple of books and think they understand the code to the legal system and how to trick and beat it. This dude really just said, I was let out of jail. I did not escape jail.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I was let out of jail. I did not escape jail. Now let's do a quick scan of this man right here. That nigga got on some jewelry. He got on a watch. He got on a chain, a fresh outfit. Dreads pulled back. Like, these niggas not even smart enough to be like, hey, we on the run. Let me cut my dreads off. Let me put some makeup over my tattoos. Let me cut my facial hair. You feel me? Let me not make a video and post it on Instagram. You know you can make a video and the police can trace the video back to see where you was when you uploaded it, right? You have to do your homework on an IP address. Every computer has an address, bro. But these niggas are just slow as a box of chips. I want to put y'all on to some of the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Freecash.com is a website that allows you to literally get paid hundreds of dollars just for playing video games on your phone. All you need is an email and a password. Follow the directions on each of the campaigns and you can earn at least $100. My personal favorite game to play was Sunrise Island, and when I clicked on it, they had a $370 bonus. I got $370 just for playing a video game on my phone. On average, it only takes about 17 minutes for most people to start earning money on freecash.com. So if you need some free, easy, extra money, go to freecash.com, click the QR code right here, or go in the description below and start getting that bag. You did? They were smart enough to escape jail, but they ain't smart enough to stay out for 5 goddamn minutes.
Was that was let out of GC.
Off the bat,
I was let out of GC.
I was let out of jail. I did not escape jail. Sir,
bro, what are
the
you talking
definition
about,
of
sir?
escaping is willfully not returning back to your confinement.
Right.
So even if you had a jailhouse employee facilitate your escape, you still escape from prison. But I believe he thinks, hey, yo, they let me out. Hey, bro,
like,
this jailhouse, employee opened up the door for me and I just walked out. Even though we seen you guys escape through the back of that cell,
right.
When you take an escape route behind a toilet within a cell, that tells everybody what we need to know, bro. You weren't under this belief that you were free to go. No, you escaped through the back channels because you knew your confinement weren't over with. And he has also escaped prison before, I believe, in like 2019.
He escaped prison before? Oh my God, this nigga Debo. Do your homework on Debo escaping prison, folks. He's Debo.
Escape prison. Now, he's about to go on a tirade where he essentially pleads his case and claim he's being framed, the justice system is corrupt.
What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic violence strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay.
Bro, when I look at you, bro, you got the Power Ranger boots on, gang. We think you did it, bro. Like.
Before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right. St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's 2 different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on 2nd-degree kidnapping, 2nd-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery, violence, strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child. She's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman.
It's crazy how he just read through one of the most horrific string of charges I think I've ever seen or heard. And then he topped that off by claiming, she's an adult, bro. This is not a child. This is an adult.
Nobody said it was a child. They said you got freaky. I'm telling y'all right now, bro. Like on everything I love, bro. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, gang. 2025 has been a big ass L for all light-skinned niggas. All light-skinned niggas will perish in 2025, folks. Y'all just keep taking L's after L's after L's after L's. It's bad.
As if that matters, right? As if that makes it better. But he's about to go on a tangent on how he's innocent. They framing him. He will claim that this chick actually wrote, like an affidavit claiming, hey, I lied on him. He didn't do none of these things. To be honest, the one thing I learned from this particular channel covering Megan Stein and Tory and other charges, bro, these igolets be lying, right? But not all.
Igolets is translation for women. Just for everybody that wasn't following. Back to the video.
Be lying. Not most be lying, but some do be lying. But the one part of those charges that I have a keen ear to is when he says he violated a protection order. So you already had a protection order, I would imagine, for doing something similar to this woman.
Right.
And then you violated the protection order.
Right.
So from my perspective, if you were already on a protection order, why are you violating it? Why are you coming around this woman? Why are you trying to interact with her again?
I don't know.
Now, couples are toxic like that. So if she allowed him to come back and they continue dating, and then he caught another charge, At that point, I don't know. I can't tell you if he's telling the truth or if he's lying. What I will say though, man, you don't escape prison and make a video. You escape prison and get gone, my guy.
Right. Nigga, you supposed to be somewhere in the middle of fucking Sweden. You supposed to be halfway to China right now, bro. You on Instagram? What the fuck are you doing?
That ain't where you gotta plead your case to, bro.
This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was
that's crazy.
November the 10th.
Manipulators like this depend on you not doing any type of research whatsoever and just taking his word for it.
Right.
Now,
it's about
a
to get spicy,
coming back and trying to get her abuser out of jail isn't rare. Some women do that. Some women love to do. They're so delusional. They're so dumb that they would try to get you out of jail after putting you in there. And even though you're absolutely guilty. So this is not her just coming and saying, yo, he did this to me and the police picked him up. No. Apparently when the police found her, she had bruises all over her body. She had a bloody face, raspy voice. Her eyes were swollen shut and had trouble swallowing.
Damn.
This is not somebody who just...
Swollen shut, bruised and bloody face, raspy voice, and trouble swallowing? If she was... Do you know how strong you gotta choke a motherfucker for them to have trouble swallowing, my guy? He choked her so bad he gave her a strep throat. What the fuck?
It's made up they were beaten. No, this is... She had visible injuries.
Right.
Now, apparently, this the same woman who tried to break him out of jail. Like, she helped him escape prison. So this is just a dummy altogether. But her being a dummy don't take away from her being attacked.
Right.
Now, apparently, this is what happened, okay? In 2024, the woman told officers the couple started arguing at her house in Slidell. When Massey went through her purse and found paperwork from a protection order violation. Now, she already had a protection order out against this dude.
Okay.
So, from a protection order violation report she previously filed against him, according to court documents. When Massey confronted her, he beat her, strangled, and forced her into her car, driving her against her will down dark roads in New Orleans, East and other areas, telling her, I'm about to kill you. According to court documents, when they spotted a police car near the McDonald's on Elysian Fields,
bro.
The woman told investigators
she jumped out the car
and tried to flag the officers down, but Massey caught her and dragged her back to the car, where he strangled her until she lost consciousness.
That's crazy.
Later that same morning, Massey brought the woman to his sister's house, where he became enraged again that she was being too loud. He ripped the braids from her head, leaving blood all over the walls, according to court documents. She eventually escaped hours later and flagged down a passing car. Her own car was recovered abandoned in a 7,000 block of Martin Road.
Do you know, bro, this is great. This is crazy, bro. What I say earlier in the video, gang. Looking at his face, I believe you did it, bro. You feel me? And if you go back here, he has a long criminal history at the top. He says, long criminal history date to at least 2009 includes violent felony convictions of armed robbery, aggravated flight from an officer, felon in possession of a firearm. He was also sentenced on charges of theft, simple criminal damage, property, and twice tampering with electronic monitoring. So he crazy, folks. It's something wrong with him. You done tried to tamper with your ankle monitor 2 times. You got armed robbery. Bro, this nigga crazy.
Her own car was recovered abandoned in a 7,000 block of Martin Road.
He on some weirdo
Days later,
type shit.
Massey was found in Texas with a Mercedes that was stolen from a party in New Orleans East.
And then they found you with a stolen Mercedes. Like, what do you think's finna happen, bro?
The document says, this is not a man who is completely innocent, bro.
Right.
While on their run, he stole somebody's vehicle. They went to the sister house and found blood all on the wall.
Damn, that's crazy. There's something wrong with Buddy.
Where a woman
gotta be something wrong with you for you to get 3 chest pieces, 1, 2, 3, tattooed on your face.
Said something, police arrested you. And then she came back and said, oh, no, he didn't do it. Yeah, she's a dummy, right? She's a victim who's a dummy. But no, you're not innocent, bro. Like, rot in hell. Rot in jail.
For real, though.
Of 2024, okay? So, I was in Centennial, right? And I was on a regular domestic charge, right? So, they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So, with that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more charges. It was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse and involuntary relation. So once I got in Orleans Parish jail, all right.
You slid by those theft of a motor vehicle charges really fast.
Nah, for real though.
Are you claiming they're lying on you with that as well? Did you not do that as well? Are you an innocent man being framed for those as well? And then when says he was in another jurisdiction for domestic violence, that tells me it was two different situations, because why would you be in two different jurisdictions for the same crime?
Right.
So if you were already in jail for another woman, or you did this to her in another jurisdiction,
right?
Come on, bro. Being lied on once by one woman, I can probably hear. I could probably be open to hearing you out, but if it's two different occurrences, bruh, cut it out.
It start sounding, yeah.
I have.
But my thing is, these niggas be so gangster until they go to jail. Then when they hear this right here, FBI, open up! Now they want to be all preachy. They want to go to church. They want to go to school. Why? No. Why don't you be gangster from beginning to end? Why don't you do that, folks? You were so devoted. You devoted your entire life to be a gangster. You worked hard to get these charges, bro. You worked real hard, because I'm sure that first armed robbery wasn't your first armed robbery. Your first charge wasn't your first time you did some shit. Very not that likely that was your first time doing something illegal. It was just the first time you got caught. So go be a gangster the whole time, bro. Go in jail, sit in there. If you break out, keep being a gangster. We don't want to hear no please, they lied on me, please. We don't want to hear that shit, bro. Especially when you was a gangster, bro. You like you was out here.
Attorney's office. This woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish is the same woman here. It's not different females. It's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false, and she even saying it. She let her know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too. Once I got into Orleans Parish, I was there for a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail?
What you will see with a lot of these dudes, they're probably good people. They probably got a good heart, but they're really bad decision makers.
Right. They emotional. They emotional. A lot of these niggas are emotional, bro. They're emotional as hell. To the point where you could say something to them, you could snap some, you could step on their shoes, you can call them ugly, and they will kill you right there. And then go to jail and be like, oh, damn, that was stupid. Like, you feel me? They emotional and they bad. That's why they bad decision makers, because they be emotional, bro.
These charges are false. You're being framed. I'll hear you out. I'll say, okay, I'm listening, bro. At what point do you justify escaping from prison?
Right.
Now, guess what? Those charges that you might have beaten because the woman, the chick, is saying you didn't do it.
Right.
Now, I don't believe he's went to court yet for this. Like he's still fighting this case, I believe, because he said he's been there for about 8 months or so. So this charge that you may have beaten, that you may have gotten off from,
right?
You just turned this to a guaranteed slam dunk 5 years in prison for escaping prison. And you know they're going to make an example out of you.
Hell yeah.
Because you're the one who probably wrote on the wall, too easy.
Yeah.
You're the one who was caught at a barbecue, who been taunting the police since you've been out.
No cap.
So you turn a case that you could have probably beaten when you take this to court. You turn this into a situation where you're going to do a guaranteed couple of years. And that's me being modest.
Yeah.
Do you not see that your decision-making is a problem? Do you not see that you are at fault for the bad decisions that you are making in life? Now, he's about to go on his pity story about how
it's about to get worse.
Because he's black, he lost his father when he was 7. He went through hardships. and that's why he ended up a perennial F up. Here's the thing: a lot of these dudes don't quite understand when it comes to, I guess, living in the hood or living in poverty. 99% of people, well, not okay, I'm capping.
That's a lot.
90% of people in those environments don't commit crimes.
Right.
90% of people who grew up in the hood, who grew up in abject poverty, who had a one-parent household, 90% of those people don't commit crimes.
They might commit crimes, but it's not this shit. They not shooting, killing, smacking, beating people, and like, you know, motherfucker might steal some, might have a gun on them, might sell some drugs or something like that, but they ain't doing this, bro. You want some weirdo terrorizing people type shit, folks.
If you look at the crime rate compared to the population, it's about 10% of people who are actively committing crime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm empathetic, I'm sympathetic, right? I'll pray for you, my brother. Because I feel like outside of the weirdos and the creeps, those charges are some weird charges.
Yeah, them some weird charges, bro.
I'll probably get some clarification on whether or not you raped that woman, I can offer you my prayers, my brother. But I do believe that almost all criminals are redeemable.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, the excuse should not be I had a tough life, so I resorted to crime. 90% of people who have tough lives don't commit crimes.
Yeah.
Louisiana had the highest incarceration rate in the world for putting black people away. Yes. At the end of the day, in my younger life, I'm not gonna lie, I was causing problems. I was young. My daddy got killed when I was 7 years old. My mom had to raise 4 children by herself, so I had to find a way to try to help my mother. You feel what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing you said except that armed robbery, bro. Nothing you said contributed to no money. You ain't getting no money for beating this girl up. You ain't getting no money for stealing that car. You ain't getting no money for tampering with your ankle monitor. Like, only time you probably got a little, or you could have got some money, was the armed robbery. So,
but as time went on, the person that I once was, I'm not that person today.
And that don't matter. That's what a lot of these niggas don't understand. That don't matter. If you kill somebody when you 24 and you go to jail and you've been in there since you was 24 and you're 35, you've been in there 11 years, you could feel so sorry, you could feel bad, you could feel stupid. Lil Durk is probably in jail feeling dumb as hell right now, but it's too late. Nobody cares about how you feel right now. Nobody cares that you're a Muslim now. Nobody cares that you read books now. Nobody cares that you a stand-up citizen now. Nobody give a damn about that no more, bro. Nobody cares. It ain't gonna matter to nobody, gang.
That's who I am. I have a 3-year-old son.
God might care.
I have an 18-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday, supposed to be. At the end of the day, that people don't understand that they see that I'm armed and dangerous. I have a heart. People that know me know that at the end of the day, I am a good person. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meek Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy, Donald Trump.
Oh, no. Leave Donald Trump out of this, bro. I feel like, this pardon thing is getting out of control, bro. They just learned what a pardon is, bro. And now any small inconvenience they get into, bro,
they like,
bro get arrested for stealing a chocolate bar at Wawa, at Walmart. The first thing he's doing, man, is on the phone. Hey, tell Trump to pardon me, bro. I'm innocent. Cut it out, bro. Please. Cut it out. Trump, no more niggas, right? No more niggas, bro. Because, if you let one nigga out of jail, bro, you about to get, I'm talking about.
That nigga said Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, and Young Boy, and Donald Trump.
Bombarded with requests, bro. You even got the street dudes, bro, with not a dollar to his name asking Donald Trump to pardon him. First off, Donald Trump ain't pardoning these dudes out the goodness of his heart.
Right.
This is all transactionary, bro.
Right.
There are literal brokers who are selling pardons, bro. These brokers will take less than like your $1 million or $5 million. And you're only paying for them to bring your request to the president.
Right.
They're not even guaranteeing you'll get pardoned.
Right.
You're paying for them to bring your request to the president. You don't got $1 to your name asking for Donald Trump to pardon you. Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck.
I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence.
That's
While I
your
was
fault,
in
bro.
Orleans Parish jail, they said that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank? If you can't come around me, you're a maintenance. You cannot come on the tills without a deputy being behind you. Because if they just let you on the till, you could be persuaded to bring drugs or anything like that nature. So how can I threaten you to jail you? And why you didn't notify the people, the police, that if I did threaten you, you never did that. Like, you flat out lied on me. Sterling flat out lied on me.
This is the goofy that they convinced to apparently help them escape. Now, apparently multiple people helped them escape, but this is the one goofy who, I guess, opened up certain doors or did certain things to let them out. Now, you can look at this guy and tell he a goofy. You can look at him, bro, and tell he green as hell. Those dudes probably play to be his homie, play to be his friend,
You can
make
look
him
at
feel
him
like
and
one
tell
of the
he
guys
was
because he don't got no friends in real life, so he thought they were really his homies. Whole time they was manipulating and convincing him, bro. Fam, if a dude in jail can talk a correctional officer making $100,000 a year out her drawers,
right,
knowing she's risking losing $100,000 job,
right?
You think they can't talk a goofy who want to get down into doing whatever they want to do? So this is the goofy who apparently let them out. Now he's claiming, because this goofy is now squilling, he's telling it all.
Of course
he's saying,
is.
"Hey, bro, they threatened me, right? When it got to the day to do it, bro, like they apparently put like a shank to me and made me open up certain doors so when they escaped, they could get out." This is apparently the game plan for Massey. So this escape marked his 5th escape from prison.
Damn!
Right? Including twice when he cuts off his ankle monitor, right? So Massey first escaped juvenile detention then in 2019. He broke out of the Morehouse Parish Detention Center in Colliston, about 20 miles outside of Monroe, with another inmate. They run through a hole in a fence and escape in a rental car that pulled up nearby.
That's crazy.
So this is a mastermind who's been planning escape from prison since 2019.
He wrong.
So this is not a man, hey, bro, I was let out of jail by the officials. I didn't force anybody. I didn't plan nothing.
Right.
I was offered to walk out, so I just walked out. No, this is a mastermind here, bro.
Yeah,
this man is manipulative
Shorty
to
cold
a T.
with it.
And I want to let the media know that from the straight tattoos in my face and things of that nature, of course they're going to believe Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I never told Sterling nothing. I'm willing to take a lie detector test and everything behind that, but that's another subject. Orleans Parish is one of the corruptedest jails.
I believe him, though.
St. Tammany Parish is the corruptedest jails in the state of Louisiana. Why was I even incarcerated with a woman saying that this never happened? This is this woman's name. This is the charge, domestic abuse. This is about the shit St. Tammany. Why would I in Orleans Parish? Why was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail. And they have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me, that's trying to prove their innocence. That's why they ran. Jason Williams, the sheriff, Susan Hudson, these people are corrupted. These people was talking to St. Tammany and telling St. Tammany they gonna sentence me behind this. And telling St. Tammany if they can't get me, St. Tammany gonna get me.
This dude is a professional victim. Now he's fooling a lot of people.
Yeah, but you're not. That's the only thing. It sounds good. I agree. The jails are corrupt. I agree. The government is corrupt. I agree with all that, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, it's a reason why most people don't go to prison. Most people ain't looking at prison time, bro. Most people don't go to jail for 17 felonies, gang. The reason for that is because most people ain't breaking the law. Most people ain't fucking around with the police, gang. What you want us to do? Then on top of all that, you gonna break out of jail and then you gonna go live on gonna record? Like, this is just dumb.
Ladies and gentlemen, FBI, open up! We got him.
We'll see you in about 2094, bro. You tweaking.